Hey guys, and welcome to a short video about writing standalone literary analysis paragraphs. We reviewed a lot of this information last semester, but as we are entering second semester, I want to make sure that you guys all have a very clear idea of what is going to be expected of you. So, this literary analysis paragraph is a paragraph that centers around one very clear idea that you are trying to prove about a text. This isn't an essay that deals with multiple sources, multiple paragraphs. This is just one argument of a very, very clear idea that's established in your topic sentence. So the structure of a literary paragraph is the same structure of any paragraph that you write in high school that you would write in an essay. It's just by itself. There's no introduction paragraph, there's no conclusion paragraph. It's just a standalone. And it includes a topic sentence, embedded evidence, elaboration and analysis on that embedded evidence, another piece of embedded evidence, more elaboration and analysis on that, and then a conclusion. So let's start with a topic sentence. You guys have been learning this since freshman year. When you are writing one paragraph, your topic sentence needs to be a fat sentence. The reason that it's a fat sentence is because you are dealing only with one text. So normally, if you're going to write an essay, you've got your thesis statement, and your thesis statement tells us exactly what's going to go on for the entire essay. And then you have a fat sentence when you're introducing any new piece of evidence or material. But because it's one paragraph, you're only using one source, not multiple. And that's why your topic sentence is just a very simple fat sentence. And again, your topic sentence, because you don't have as much time as you would in an essay, needs to get straight to the point of what you're proving. Don't waste time with fluffy words, right? Just straight to the point. Tell me exactly how you're answering the prompt and what you're going to be proving with your evidence. So the prompt for this upcoming one is, what does Edgar Allan Poe think about either deceit, right? If that's what your strongest thematic statement and evidence is, or what does Edgar Allan Poe think about revenge? Your topic sentence in the FAT statement is going to include the focus, which is the answer to that prompt question. So again, what is your thematic statement? That is what becomes your focus. Then you're going to still have the author, like any normal FAT sentence, which is Edgar Allan Poe, the title, The Cask of Amontillado, in quotation marks, not italics. Italics are used when it's a novel, but because this is a short story, your title is in quotations. And then the text type, it's a short story. So the example could be, in the short story, The Cask of Amontillado, Edgar Allan Poe reveals that, and then you would insert your thematic statement about either deceit or revenge. Again, whichever one you feel like is the strongest thematic statement that you have written so far, the one that you believe your evidence backs up the best, and the one that you believe you can analyze the best, right? So you've got your topic sentence, which is your fat sentence whose focus answers the prompt, and then you have your embedded evidence. So this is specific evidence from the story that supports your thematic statement. So if you're talking about deceit and deception or disguise, you're going to make sure that your quote specifically deals with that topic or that idea. Now remember, there's three things that you need for embedded evidence. You can't leave your quotes just hanging. You have to provide quotes or, sorry, not quotes, lead-ins or signal phrases. So an example would be what's highlighted in blue. Right before Fortunato begins building the wall, he says, and then you would insert what he says, and then you would put the proper citation. What would be incorrect is if you were just to put the quote and then the citation. That's not right. You have to have a signal phrase or a lead-in, what gives us the context of that quote, the who or the where or the what or the why. Otherwise, the quote is improperly embedded or we won't have the proper context. Now, please pay close attention to the punctuation of that teal circle right there. That is the correct punctuation when you are citing a quote. You have to have a lead in a signal phrase. You have to have quotation marks. I'm gonna move the screen right here. And you have to have the proper citation. So it's a parenthesis. It has the author's last name with no comma and the page number. So page number 2, closing parentheses, and then the period. A lot of you guys like putting the period right before the parentheses, but that is incorrect. So notice it's end quotation, parentheses, author, no comma, page number, end parentheses, then a period. This is the proper way to cite quotes. So again, topic sentence, we've got our fat sentence with our thematic statement for the focus. We've got the 3 elements that are needed to embed evidence, which is your lead-in and your signal phrase, the quote, and the proper citation. And then you've got your elaboration and analysis, how that evidence specifically supports your thematic statement. Every single thing has to go back and prove that your focus or your thematic statement is correct. So when you're analyzing, don't just make it random, make it actually prove the point that you're trying to make. So elaboration, how and why does that quote prove your thematic statement? So consider the following elements. Does Poe use a specific literary technique in the quote? Does he use strong diction? Does he use foreshadowing, verbal irony, symbolism, setting, color symbolism, right? All of those things that we talked about in our annotations. So again, here are some things that you can discuss in your analysis, right? Again, you want to use that literary language, that academic language to prove your point. Consider, would the story be different if the character had not said that line, right? Why is that line significant? Why is that line significant to prove your point? What is the character implying to the reader? The other character, etc. By saying this, right? What are the implications of this action, this costume, this setting, or this line, or this piece of dialogue? Oops. Does the scene remind you of anything? Shakespeare, Greek mythology, the Bible that Poe could be alluding to? This is called an allusion, and it's often used in classic literature. What does it remind you of? Talk about that in your analysis. And then ultimately, again, you just got to explain why and how that quote furthers a thematic statement in clear language. Again, this is not the time to summarize. We've all read the story. I've read the story countless amount of times. I don't need to know the basic information. I need to know what your analysis is and proving your point. Again, remember, this is a trick question, right? There's no required sentence count. You need to write as much as you need to prove your point thoroughly. So again, we've got over all of these different elements, right? Topic sentence, embedded evidence, elaboration, and analysis. And then you repeat that with a second quote for embedded evidence, elaboration, and analysis, and then your conclusion. Your conclusion should be about 2 sentences long. The first is your summary statement. What is a summary of your argument and how is it proven in the text? And then finally, the so what statement. Is there a greater message to be taken away by the reader? Is it a reminder for us? You need to leave the reader with something to think about. When we're talking about the topics of deceit and revenge, what is something for the reader to consider that Edgar Allan Poe touches upon about human nature? So again, big text. Make sure you stay focused on the focus of your paragraph, that thematic statement, and proving how it's seen in the text. And then at the end, ask yourself, did I prove that this is a thematic statement in the author's text? It's all about evaluating and reflecting on your own work. I wish you guys the best of luck with this.